I want to tell you something most people building a creative business would never say out loud. After a full year of running the BM Edit, a year of making art, photographing the Gulf Coast, building listings, learning Etsy, learning Faire just recently, understanding wholesale and the ways I can repurpose my products, I have made exactly 0 sales. 0. That's not a slow start. Not a few here and there. $0, 0 orders, 1 year. And I think that's important that I say that clearly, because the rest of what I'm going to tell you means nothing if I don't open with that. So here's where I am right now. It's the beginning of May, and instead of continuing to post something and hope that it sticks and hope that it inspires somebody to want to purchase my art or any of my art-based products, I'm doing something a little drastic. I'm committing to 31 days of intentional, documented marketing and business actions. 1 per day, 1 major task per day, every single day in May. I'm documenting all of it, what I'm trying, what works, what completely flops, the revenue I gain from each week of tasks. And, you know, we'll see what the numbers actually say in the end. But maybe this gives my business the momentum it needs to start making progress. I was inspired by Tina Kynes on TikTok at Organized Gym, who is currently running, I think the last video I saw was day 18, so she's running a similar challenge and was so transparent about the whole process of the tasks that she was doing each day. And so I figured that's something I'd like to bring here and help with growing my business. This isn't a highlight reel. This is the real thing. Now, let me walk you through what this month looks like, because it's a lot. Week 1 is for the foundation work. And I mean the kind of foundation work that nobody sees, but everything else depends on. So as I'm filming this, it is May 5th. I have opened my Faire shop, added some additional listings to it, added all of my wholesale listings to Etsy, and adding those last couple wholesale listings to Etsy. I am also getting all of these products that I've been posting on to Pinterest for the first time. So that way I can start reaching people in a different location than I'm already reaching people. But if you want to follow me on Pinterest, I am at the BM Edit on there as well. I'm also starting to treat my YouTube channel as a strategy on building my business and getting my content out to other people rather than just set it and forget it. Add content, leave, hope it does well, which it seemed to pay off in April a little bit, and I was being a little bit more intentional about posting on YouTube in April, but I'm actually putting a lot of faith in YouTube recently because it seems to be working out. So none of my week 1 tasks are flashy, but you can't build an audience on a broken foundation. So week 1 is about getting those bones right. Week 2, however, is about opening doors. I keep adding listings. I optimize my social media, try to add more on Facebook to get a slightly different, maybe more refined audience, because I'm not posting my raw content that I post on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube over to Facebook. But the big thing for week 2 is my first wholesale outreach. I am building a sell sheet from scratch and reaching out to local businesses in coastal Mississippi. I am reaching out to local businesses in coastal Mississippi about purchasing my products through Faire and carrying them in their stores. It's something I'm a little nervous about because, let's be real, it's a little scary. But week 2 is where I stop putting this off. I'm also doing a lot of the behind the scenes prep work to launch my fruit themed greeting card collection. And it's a full line. I painted them all in April during my daily painting challenge, and that launch is happening on week 3. So, like I just said, week 3 is my greeting card launch. And about mid-month, this fruit greeting card line goes live on Faire and Etsy on back-to-back days. And these new listings on my new platforms are giving people new ways to find me. And I'm extending my wholesale reach into Louisiana. So going next door and reaching out to these businesses about carrying my products in their shops. Now, week 4 is the final push, but also a reflect and build time. I'll be extending my outreach to my other neighboring state of Alabama, and I'll be actually sitting down and reflecting on the data I've gathered through the month of what sold, what got views, what got saves, basically where did the conversion lie, and what maybe didn't work. Also, the biggest thing probably happening on week 4, other than retailer reach out, is I'm going to start building my actual website, a real home base for the BM Edit, where I can sell directly, including not just my products that I already have listed on Faire and Etsy, but also my original paintings. All of this art that you see behind me will be listed on my direct website. So some of these pieces could become yours. The goal is to end May with not just answers, but an infrastructure that outlasts the challenge itself. Here's the part that makes me a little nervous to say. My sales goal for May, $500. I know, for a business that hasn't made a single dollar in a whole year, that's a lot to ask. It might be absurd, and trust me, I'm aware of that. But here's what I've realized about fear and big goals. They're way more connected than we'd like to admit. A small, comfortable goal doesn't scare you. And if it doesn't scare you, it doesn't change your behavior. Sure, I could set a manageable goal of getting $50 in the month of May because it would be reasonable to assume that because I haven't made a single dollar yet. But setting that scary $500 goal gives me something to drive for. Because if I would have set that measly $50 goal, I would have done the bare minimum to try to achieve it. And if I didn't reach $50, I'd be like, oh well, not that big of a deal. $500 is something to care about, and it's something to work very hard to get. $500 asks something of me. It makes me nervous to say out loud. It makes me feel exposed when I was writing about it on Substack. It makes me feel exposed just saying it here. There's a voice in the back of my head saying, who do you think you are? And I think that voice is exactly why I needed to say that number anyways. Because fear isn't a sign that the goal is wrong. It's a sign that the goal matters. I needed a goal big enough to make me act like it was possible. Because acting like it's possible is the only reason to find out if it is. I keep coming back to this idea that 0 isn't a failure. It's a starting point without the comfort of precedent. There's no baseline to beat. No previous month to compare against. No data to lean on. You're making every decision on instinct and research and a little stubbornness. And that's both terrifying and honestly kind of freeing. I don't know yet what the BM Edit looks like when it's working. I have a vision. Gulf Coast art and photography. It brings a little piece of this coastline to people's lives. Cards that people actually want to send. Prints worth hanging. But let's be real. The market gets a vote too. And May is about listening to what the people actually want. I'm filming this 5 days into May. No sales yet, but my Etsy views seem to be climbing. And for the first time in a while, it genuinely feels like something is starting to move. Whatever happens at the end of this month, I'll know more than I do right now. And frankly, that's worth the leap. If you want to follow me as this month unfolds, I'm documenting everything here and over on TikTok and Instagram at the BM Edit. All the links are in the description. And if you want to help me chase that $500 goal, my Etsy shop is open. My Faire shop is open for wholesale buyers. And every single order this month means something. Thanks for being here while I figure it out. I'll see you in the next one.